I'm Joey Smith. For the most part, I've been a Christian my whole life. Every time the doors were open to the church, we were there, my entire family. I met Lisa at church. My view of Christianity began to change when I was probably in my late teens, early 20s. I began to see people twist their views, manipulate things to work out for themselves. You know, they would use God as their basis, might even have scripture, and they would manipulate it to win for themselves. And it began to change my perspective on how I viewed them and how I viewed God. I backed away, and it kind of became like God was a fairy tale to me. You know, I continued church, but it wasn't the same depth, it wasn't the same level. You know, I'd go, play the guitar, step off stage, write my tithes check, you know, went on that for years, got married, started having kids, you know, started my career. You know, I was really falling apart in every aspect of my life. Home, work, it was miserable being at church. You know, for the most part, I really couldn't function properly. I was always extremely angry, never really content. It was either I was happy for the moment or I was angry. At some point in time, I started looking at pornography, and the further along I went with it, I viewed it more. If I became upset, it was kind of my calming thing, you know. Yeah, I tried to quit at times because I knew it wasn't right, but I would always fail at quitting because, you know, it involved me, it became me, it became the source of my calm, you know. But it got to the point to where images just weren't enough for me anymore. I wanted real people. I started going to places that I had no business going to, and seeing people and being with people that I had no business going. I was way out of the lines of marriage. You know, you had supposedly the perfect life, but my life was a life of two lives, and I was utterly miserable at it. And I decided that it had to end. I had to stop. I had to tell Lisa the truth. So after, I don't know, 3 days of thinking about it, how do I do this? How do I do this? You know, we had a conversation. And yeah, there was a lot of frustration, a lot of anger. Of course, she was very upset, as you could imagine. I remember at one point in the time, during the conversation, I said, you know, just let me get a couple of things and I'll be gone. And I started to walk off to the bedroom to grab a bag and grab some clothes. And before I could get 2 steps away, she was telling me, no, you're not going to do that. She says, you're going to stay here with me. You're going to live in our house, and we're going to get through this. She said, with God's help, we're going to get through this. The next step was, you know, sitting in Jeff's office. Awkward. Yeah, it was awkward. Didn't know what was going to happen. And the way he came across to us, or to me, was kind, was gentle. There was not a whole lot of condemnation in it. He talked with us, asked questions, and, you know, led us in a prayer together. You know, gave us the number to a marriage counselor, and we started attending counseling. And we went to that for months. And things were good. You know, things were working out, and I was really, to be honest with you, I was shocked. You know, I went to counseling by myself for a few months, started dealing with my issues that I didn't know I had. Yeah, but reading the Bible stories with a new perspective, you know, you begin to see that David was still a king, and you know, there's so many stories in there where you see total failures, and God just kind of picks them up, dusts them off, and they do what he wants them to do, and they moved forward. He gave them a second chance. And that whole second chance that God gives, I got the same second chance. So it gave me hope. It gave me the courage to stand up and to dust myself off and to keep moving forward. The amazing thing about God is that when we're knocked down, when we're defeated, when we've got nowhere to look but down and further down, he's got a way of coming in and picking us up and claiming us and rebuilding us. And still that day when Lisa, confession day, when I said all my transgressions to her, when she said I wasn't going anywhere, she had staked a claim in me, just like God stakes a claim in us. And just like when we tell God, I am yours and you are mine, that's the way things ought to be, a circle of love that you shouldn't walk away from. So I guess if anything else said, God will give you the courage to stand up and to do the right thing and to move forward. Because his mercy is enough and his love is enough.